You know your dog is keeping a secret from you. And no, I'm not talking about where they hid your other sock. This secret, it's way more important. And honestly, learning to uncover it, it might just be the most critical skill you can have as a pet parent. See, they're absolute masters at hiding their pain. But today we're going to crack their code. Okay, so here's the game plan. We're going to turn you into a full-on pain detective for your dog. We'll learn how to spot those super subtle clues, figure out what's actually causing the discomfort, go over some simple ways you can make them more comfortable, and this is a big one, know when it's a real emergency. So, first things first, we got to ask the big question. Why? Why don't they just, limp over and tell us what's wrong? Well, it all goes back to this powerful survival instinct. It's like this ancient piece of code buried deep, deep in their DNA, all the way back from their wolf ancestors. I mean, think about it, right? Out in the wild, if an animal shows weakness, it basically becomes a target, a big flashing sign for predators, or they might even get pushed out of their own pack. And even though your dog's biggest threat these days is probably the vacuum cleaner, they're still running on that ancient software. They see you as their pack, and their number one instinct is to never, ever look weak. And that leads to the most crucial point here. Catching these silent signals early, it's an absolute game changer. Your attention, you being vigilant, can stop their secret battle before it gets really bad. And that can literally add happy, healthy, active years to their life. It's that important. Okay, so now we know why they're so good at hiding pain. Let's move on to the what. Let's unmask the usual suspects. What are the most common things that cause all this hidden suffering? All right, take a look at this, because the scale of the number one culprit is just wow. We're talking about osteoarthritis. And while it hits about 1 in 4 adult dogs, that number just skyrockets for our seniors. Get this. A staggering 80% of older dogs are dealing with aching joints every single day. And then you've got the hidden mouth ache. You know that bad dog breath we sometimes just kind of ignore? Well, it's not normal. It's actually a huge red flag for dental disease. And what that really means is your pup could be living with a constant, throbbing toothache that turns every single meal into a painful chore. But hey, the pain isn't always in the joints or the mouth or the ear. It can be hiding in their belly from something like pancreatitis. It could be painful bladder stones, or even a deep, throbbing ache from an ear infection. Heck, even a simple muscle sprain from playing a little too hard at the park can cause some serious, silent discomfort. So, okay. They're not going to tell you with words, obviously, but trust me, they are telling you. You just have to learn how to read their secret language. And cracking this code, it all comes down to you becoming an expert observer of their everyday behavior and their body. So behavioral clue number 1, a sudden drop in energy. If your dog, who absolutely lives for a game of fetch, is suddenly not interested, or you see them kind of hesitate before jumping on the couch, they're not just being lazy. Nope, they're being careful. Why? Because moving hurts. Next, watch for social changes. A dog in pain might start hiding, under the bed just to avoid being touched. Or maybe your super sweet-natured pup suddenly growls when you go to pet their back. Listen, they're not being mean. They're sending you a crystal clear signal that just says, ouch, that spot really hurts. Okay, now for the physical clues. And you can start just by looking right at their face. Vets actually have a name for this. They call it the pain face. Their eyes might look a little glazed over, kind of vacant. They might have a furrowed brow, and their ears will be pinned back. It's this look of tension and worry, and it's a direct window into how they're feeling. And you know what? Their body posture, it never lies. A dog with joint or back pain will often stand with a hunched back. Their movements get all stiff and careful, and you might notice they're carrying their tail low and tight instead of wagging it like they usually do. That whole posture just screams that something is wrong. And also, watch for how they struggle to get comfortable. I'm talking about constantly shifting around at night, can't seem to settle down. Or maybe they're obsessively licking one spot on their leg until it's raw. That's not just some weird habit. It's a direct attempt to soothe an area that is causing them nonstop pain. Okay, so you've gathered all these clues and you've got a gut feeling your dog is in pain. Now what? Well, now it's time to spring into action. Your plan is going to have 2 parts, some simple, easy changes you can make at home and the essential help you'll get from your vet. At home, believe it or not, you can make a huge difference right away. Things like laying down some rugs on slippery floors so they get better traction, elevating their food bowls, that really helps ease neck strain, and definitely invest in a good orthopedic bed to support those aching joints. Oh, and keep them lean. Every extra pound is just more pressure on their body. Okay, listen up, because this is probably the most critical takeaway in this entire explainer, and it could literally save your dog's life. Never, ever give your dog human pain medication. I'm talking about things like Advil or Tylenol. They are straight up toxic to dogs and can cause fatal kidney or liver failure. Please, just don't do it.
The only safe way to manage their pain is through your vet. Period. They're the ones who can actually diagnose the root cause of the pain, and they have access to all sorts of safe options, like dog-specific NSAIDs, medications for nerve pain, and they can recommend proven stuff like supplements and even therapies like laser or acupuncture that can provide some incredible relief.
And this brings us right back to where we started, to that central mystery. Your dog is trying so hard to be tough for you. They're counting on you, relying on you to be their voice, to see past that brave face. Because remember, their deepest instinct is to just suffer in silence. All right, last big topic here. We need to talk about emergencies. Because sometimes those subtle signs we've been talking about can escalate into a really critical situation, and you absolutely have to know the difference. Let me be clear. These signs are not subtle. If you see nonstop crying or shaking, if their belly feels hard and looks swollen, if they're struggling to breathe and their gums look pale, or if they suddenly collapse or can't use their back legs, do not wait. Don't second-guess yourself. These are red alert signs. Go to an emergency vet immediately. And just so you know, this entire explainer, all these clues, all these care tips, it's all based on the super comprehensive guide from the experts over at Doggozilla magazine. They're really dedicated to helping all of us better understand our pets.
So when it all comes down to it, it's about you. You're their protector. You're their advocate. And now, after all this, you're officially their pain detective. And by learning to decode their silence, you're giving them the greatest gift you possibly can, a life that's free from hidden pain.
So, I want to leave you with this thought. Sometime today, after you're done with this, just take a quiet moment, stop what you're doing, and just watch. Really watch and listen to your best friend. What secrets are they trying to tell you right now?